Hello everybody and welcome to a new news episode. First thing we're going to talk about today is this new data mine. This is from dataminers, and as I say, they are going to dig in deeper. So this has some of the information that we kind of already talked about, but they got a little bit of extra information and they have analyzed the data a bit more. So they want to give us more information, and we're just gonna read through it. Things to look forward to below. Quest evolutions, more on GoFest, map changes, Pokédex updates, shiny forms and unknowns, new shop bundle, small remote raid updates, stickers are more reward items, rewards from your buddy for feeding it. 32 or 64-bit. After the backlash when they announced that they are dropping 32-bit Android support, it appears Niantic might be collecting some data to get some real numbers on how many players still use 32-bit OS ES. Okay, so a while ago Niantic announced that they are going to stop supporting 32-bit devices, Android devices. And it was going to be for August, I believe. It was going to be soon. And basically that means that all of these people playing on those 32-bit devices would not be able to play the game unless they buy a new phone. Now, in the current situation, it is not that easy for people to buy a new phone. Some people are having trouble economically. So for Niantic, I think they are trying to figure out whether it's worth it to already drop the 32-bit devices, considering how many players they might lose and how much money they might lose, or if it might be wiser to keep 32-bit devices active for now, so these people can still play and they can still make in-game purchases. So they're just trying to figure out what is the best decision to make here. So clearly, while they're thinking about it, you can still use a 32-bit devices, so you're still safe. Quest evolutions. We had seen hints at this before, but more confirmation that is coming. Quest requirement template ID. This is the evolution requirement section, so it seems we may soon be getting evolutions that rely on completing a quest, possibly for the coming megas or split evolutions such as Zen mode. Quests appear to be using the main quest functions, meaning a special research could be the quest requirement. For example, complete a special research, unlock an evolution. Okay, so this could definitely be used for something like megas. It could be used for very specific Pokemon, like maybe Farfetch'd, Galarian Farfetch'd being able to evolve into Surfetch'd. As in the main series, you need to land 3 critical hits in a battle for it to evolve, which is a very random criteria to evolve, and obviously that's not going to work in Pokemon Go as we don't even have critical hits. So it could be used for something like Surfetch'd as a different kind of way of finding a solution, but it's very possible that this is something that's used for getting megas. I mean, using a special research to earn the right to make a mega evolution. I mean, seems like a big. If it is made like a big deal, megas is a big deal. It would make sense. GoFest. Looks like we'll see multiple challenges of different types, each showing their own goal. They will have a specific name associated with them, an active city for the challenge, more on that below, and a start and end time. There is scoring to the challenge, and you appear to have an individual score, and you can compare it to your friend's score on a leaderboard. I think that's fun. There is also the global score to ensure you hit the goal. The global score is the certain amount that you need to make with all trainers combined, so you can activate the bonus for that hour. Timed group challenge notification. Okay. You get some in-game notifications when the goals are met and items are rewarded as well as when the challenge starts. Okay. Items are rewarded as well as when the challenge starts. The challenge or challenges will pull from the existing quest pool, but it's up to the server to determine which quest challenges receives. Each challenge has a goal associated with it and has rewards, something called bonus box. A tutorial, likely minor for the global challenge. Also looks like we'll be seeing some new assets specifically for GoFest. We'll keep you updated on these. A new section for timed challenges will appear in the Today view. When the challenges are completed, they will be replaced by a new one, and the event banner might update throughout the day based on our progress. The event section is currently separate from the time challenge section. The event section specifically will show event icon, title, event description, an image for the event. Map changes. We previously reported on some possible map display changes, but it now looks like this will be set by Niantic rather than being customizable. However, maybe we'll start seeing a different map for different events. The map settings specifically contain an effect, confetti, and research icon, possibly to display when the goal has been met. The previously reported confetti appears to be linked to Victini and the map display settings. Okay, so that would be nice when you get a notification when the goal has been met, so you know that the bonus is live at that moment. Furthermore, somebody replied that you can see in this trailer by Pokemon Go in Japan that if you pause it at this precise moment, you can see the game active with fireworks or confetti on the map. So maybe that has something to do with the new map data. City Challenge, still unclear what it's going to be used for, and if it needs to be used as part of the timed challenges or not. It could be for future Safari Zone type events or rolling out challenges throughout GoFest. Yeah, I cannot give any further information on that. The Victini encounter looks like Victini is going to cause a lot of confetti on your screens. It makes sense as this is the victory Pokemon. Pokédex. A new section on the Pokédex to handle shiny forms has shiny form captured in addition to the already existing has shiny captured. Okay, so form is the little bit of extra information here, which would display that you have certain type of forms shiny. I think this could help with something like Pikachu, which obviously has many forms, so some of them can be shiny. So far you can only see whether you have the female or male shiny from Pikachu. But soon you might be able to see from every single type of head which kind of shinies you do have. This likely means that we'll soon see the end of getting the Kanto shiny and having the Alola forms shiny unlocked too, as well as my personal speculation of shiny Unona GoFest. Okay, so those are not my words, those are the words from dataminers. Speaking on Unknown, more on the overhaul on their Dex page. The Dex page for Unknown has a pretty complete overhaul, long overdue change or suspicious timing. And suspicious timing, he means that they might be trying to prepare the shiny Unknown, as they are showing shiny forms, so maybe different letters. And they are making it all accessible just before GoFest launches. So, I mean, looking at it that way, I guess it makes sense that shiny Unknown could be the shiny Pokemon. I hope not, I hope it's going to be Snorlax. New shop bundle. Not sure what the ML bundle is, but it looks like a new bundle box of some sort is coming to the shop in the future. Alright, we're gonna keep our eyes open for that. Raids. We saw a minor but important change to raids. Ticket used, remote ticket used. Handling of when the raid pass is consumed, hopefully to match up with the information we found regarding passes not being consumed until you start the battle. Yeah, so that has already been announced by Niantic, and it seems that they are now making this accessible by adding more code to support this. In addition, a few updates to remote raids themselves. Invites will have a cooldown between invites and a limited number of friends you can invite per invite. This probably is to reduce strain on the servers and might be related to why it's been delayed. It also appears invites can be limited by raid egg. There is no evidence to suggest they would do this, but they appear to have the ability to if wanted. Possibly for rollout reasons or server strain. Game Master Dynamic Update. It certainly appears that the game will be able to download the Game Master Update as they happen and while the game is running. Again, this should help stop issues with events like Double Candy not working if you don't reboot the game. Yeah, so usually when a new event goes live, it seems that the server needs some time to adjust to this new spawns and stuff, new updates. But apparently with this Game Master Dynamic Update, as soon as a new event goes live, then the Niantic server can adjust adjustly and fast. Stickers. Stickers were added as log entries to POIs, stops and gyms and raids, implying you can get stickers from stops and as raid rewards. Okay, so that is not the information that I was hoping for. I was already annoyed personally for getting stickers out of gifts, but now you might be getting them from stops and rewards as well. So my personal advice, if you are annoyed by stickers as well, is to not use a single one. Personally, the ones that I received from gifts are all at a maximum of 25 at the moment, so I cannot get any more stickers from gifts because I'm already full. Which means that I can get more items such as balls now. So I would advise the same for the things with the stops and the raids. Don't use them, don't send them to anyone. Just stock them up until they're at the limit, and then you shouldn't be able to receive any more. So you can get the normal rewards. For example, you don't want to get a sticker instead of 3 rare candies. Buddy consumables. When your buddy eats something, it will log it into the journal. It logs a reward item, implying if you feed your buddy, you can get reward. Unclear if it's just regular berries or something new to feed your buddy. Okay, you can get a reward now from feeding your buddy, apparently. What kind of reward it's going to be, we don't know yet. EU. Looks like we have some special handling to check if you are currently playing in an EU country, possibly for compliance to EU regulations. Okay, so you might wonder if that's if that's not a violation against your privacy, but okay. New item. The pink event ticket now has its own unique item. This should mean that they have no issue selling 2 different tickets at one. Maybe the reason we didn't see a Weedle ticket in the end. Okay, so this might have something to do with the upcoming Guest League Community Day to make sure that they can give you the pink tickets, apparently. AR telemetry. More device information is reporting during AR sessions, such as battery charging status, CPU usage, GPU usage, and frame rate. Hopefully this will be the first step in fixing issues like AR, plus forcing the device into a 30 FPS until an app reboots. Alright, so that was actually quite a lot of information. We're going to go to the next subject now. And I have a little bit of information from the Rockets. So the new lineups are here for Cliff, Sierra, Arlo, and Giovanni. What we can see here, Pincer, that is the old lineup. So until the 10th of July, you were able to get the old lineup from Pokestops, but you were already getting the new lineup from the balloons. But from 11th of July, I am pretty convinced, pretty certain, that you are only getting the new lineups. I think many people assured me of this already on the internet, and it's out of personal experience as well. So the new lineup for Cliff is Grimer, and then either one of these 3, Machamp, Omastar, Electivire, and either one of these 3, Tyranitar, Swampert, and Torterra. Okay, so you can be certain of Grimer. So what you can do is you can start, we're not going to look at Pinsir, what you can start is with a Groudon. Now if you start with a Groudon, okay, so they're saying Mudshot and Earthquake. If possible, go for a second move with Fire Punch. You can use that quickly, and it causes some delays on the opponent. So you can, well, furthermore, I mean, you want to get the shields, right? This is a leader battle, so if you have Fire Punch as well, you can use 2 Fire Punches to get the shields, and then you can go for an Earthquake. And if you can farm down the Grimer, then you could use the Earthquake on something like Electivire. Then we have Machamp and Omastar. So against Machamp you could use a Psychic type Pokemon, and against Omastar you could go for a Grass type. So yeah, it's going to be either one of those 2. And then you got Electivire. Yeah, so you could also start with Rhyperior instead of the Groudon, and then you can use a Stone Edge on Electivire. That could work too. And then obviously for Tyranitar it would be great to have Machamp in your party. And yeah, for Swampert you could go again for Grass. So there's 2 possibilities to use a Grass type Pokemon. But then for Torterra you want to use a Fire type. So yeah, I mean, I would go for something like Groudon, then a Machamp, because actually Tyranitar happens quite frequently on Cliff. Yeah, and then one more, maybe a Grass type. You have to figure out what's going to work best for you. Obviously, when you know the encounter, after failing first, it's going to be easy to adjust your team. Then we have Sierra here. The new lineup is going to consist of a Lapras, and potentially another Lapras after that. It could also be a Sharpedo or Executor. And then his final Pokemon could be Shiftry, Houndoom, or Alakazam. Okay, so when it comes to the Lapras, are they showing Lapras here? Yes, there you go. So Dialga is great against Lapras. You could also use a Lucario with Counter and Power Up Punch. So the Power Punch caused some delays, and obviously after every Power Punch you're going to do more damage with Counter. So especially if the first two Pokemon are both Lapras, then you're going to shred through that. And then you have a potential Houndoom in the back as well, which is going to be hit quite hard too. So that is actually a very solid option, starting with a Lucario. And yeah, maybe as a second move have something like Flash Cannon, which should hurt Alakazam big time as well. And then against Shiftry you could go for something like a Fire type. Bug would work too. So if Bug works too, then maybe something like a Scissor could work. And yeah, so personally I've done a couple of leader battles already, and for me what worked was using a Lucario. It didn't even have Power Punch, even though that's better. A Machamp, and I did use a Dialga as well. I think Dialga is really strong against this lineup either way. The only thing you have to think about is you should not use several Draco Meteors probably. After you use the first Draco Meteor, your attack drops. So you want to save up the Draco Meteor and use that on the Pokemon with full health, so you can really make a nuke on that one. Yeah, you can win that. One more strategy that you could use is, let's say you want to start with a Lucario, but you know that these Lapras are doing a lot of damage. Then you can put it in second position, and at the start of the battle instantly switch to your Lucario, so you can get a couple of extra free hits in. Then we're going to go to Arlo. New Pokemon is Pineco, and then you can see a potential Charizard, Blastoise, or Steelix, and a Scizor, Dragonite, or Salamence. Okay, so you can definitely use a Fire type, something like Charizard. If you use Charizard, you can use it against Pineco, and you can probably farm down the Pineco entirely. You want Blast Burn and Dragon Claw, so you can use a Dragon Claw to get shields. And if you have a Blast Burn ready against Steelix, then you can hit that hard. If the opposing Pokemon turns out to be something like a Blastoise, then you could swap out your Charizard having the Blast Burn ready, so you might be able to use that Blast Burn later against a potential Scizor. And yeah, what else do we have? Against a Charizard, you could definitely use a Rock type. And the Rock type can also be used against Dragonite and Salamence. So I would start with a Charizard, and then I would definitely have a Rock type as well. And then potentially you could use something like an Electric type, which is going to do well against Dragonite and Salamence too. So that would be my lineup. Charizard, Rock type, Electric type. And then for the Electric type, you might want to use something like a Electivire or Magnezone. Okay, then finally we have Giovanni. So Giovanni, we know Persian is always the first Pokemon, and you can counter that with something like a Machamp with Counter and Cross Chop. And then you have Dugtrio, Nidoking, or Garchomp. So as I was thinking, the best possible solution to me seems to be a Kyogre with Surf and Blizzard. So yeah, I mean, Surf is going to hit hard against Dugtrio and Nidoking, and you have the potential Blizzard against Garchomp. I haven't tried this yet, so I don't know if the Kyogre survives long enough to throw something like a Blizzard at Garchomp. You'll have to figure it out yourself. And then as third Pokemon, I would use something like an Electric type, probably Raikou or Magnezone to battle against Suicune. Alright, and that's all of the new lineups from the Team Rocket leaders and how you could counter them. And then finally I want to show you this infographic, and this displays clearly all of the new lineups. So we can see the leader lineups here. We already went through them. We can see that for normal does not mean weak. We are now going back to Rattata. So what is good about Rattata, it is a 1000 Stardust Purification cost Pokemon. So if you're still working on the Purification badge, then I would definitely advise to do every single normal does not mean weak, because, well, you are either going to get a Ratata or Zubat, and well, there's a slight chance you do get the Porygon, but there's a good chance you get a Ratata or a Zubat, and Raticate would work too. You can use that too for the Purifier badge. This buff physique isn't just for show, so you have a good chance of finding Machop. All of these quests that I have found started with a Machop, so it seems like that definitely has the higher percentage chance. And yeah, Machop, Shadow Machamp, as said before, is really strong, so go and try to get a good one. Then we have Battle Against by Flying type Pokemon, which pretty much guarantees you either a Zubat or Golbat. And you should have a slight chance of getting a Scyther here. Really small. Another 1000 purification cost Pokemon, so try your best for that. Decoy Grunt, Bellsprout, so if you still have your Super Rocket Radar, you didn't use it yet, and you don't have a good Shadow Bellsprout, a good Shadow Victory Bell for the Great League, then you could decide to not battle against Giovanni yet, but try to hunt these Decoy Grunts to find yourself a good Shadow Bellsprout. And of course you could use this in the future as well when the new Legendary gets announced and you get another Super Rocket Radar. We got Jesse and James, we already know the lineups. Can be shiny. Corton ready to strike, we can see the Nidorans. You'll be defeated into the ground, gives you a guaranteed Gligar at the first spot. And I would imagine you have a small chance of catching any of these three as well, but not certain about that. The Goma Super Big Pokemon has given me some Shuckles. And there's also a chance for a Weedle, which is another 1000 purification cost Pokemon. Then we have the Ghost, pretty much gives you a guaranteed Misdreavus well, in the first spot, and then you have a small chance of getting a Sableye in the second spot. So a Sableye with Return has some specific potential in the Great League. Definitely plays differently than the normal Sableye form without Return. So if you find a good Sableye Shadow one, then I would advise to keep that. For Fire, we got Vulpix, Houndour, and Growlite. Don't Tangle with Us, still a good chance to execute, but now Turtwig is in the lineup as well. And you have a small chance of getting a Weeping Bell here. So if you're unable to go for these Decoy Grunts, then you can still have a small chance at the Weeping Bell here from Don't Tangle With Us. Get ready to be shocked. So there's a good chance you will get a Magnemite out of this, and you have a small chance of getting an Electabuzz or Mareep. Are you scared of Psychic that use unseen powers? We have Abra, Drowsy, or Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet comes quite often. You're going to be frozen in your tracks. Now it gives you a Snover. The Dragon, Roar, how did that sound? Gives you a Dratini. Wherever there's light, there's also Shadow. Gives you a potential Stun Tank and maybe a Sableye. And Don't Bother, I've already won, will give you a Snorlax in the first spot. And yeah, I think you're guaranteed to get a Snorlax from this, because I've never seen someone get a Poliwrath or Gardevoir. So that's a guaranteed Snorlax there. Clearly they changed that up. So they took Lapras out of the rotation, probably because you can get that from Sierra now, and they don't want to give you extra chances to get shiny Lapras, shiny Shadow Lapras. So they put Snorlax in the first place now. So Shadow Snorlax definitely has potential. If you find a good one of that, you can well, either use it in the Ultra League if it has a good spread for Ultra League, or if it just has really high IVs, you can use it in the Master League or the Premier League. So I am pretty excited about these new lineups. I think they could make a little bit more changes, but yeah, I'm happy. We have these Waters Are Treacherous as well, by the way, which either gives you Psyduck, Mudkip, and Magikarp. Is that also possible? I don't think I've seen this one yet, but maybe you have. And Let's Rock and Roll will give you Omanyte or Shuckle. And a potential Larvitar from the second spot. Okay, so that was actually a lot more information than I thought it was going to be. Want to quickly address a few things. We got here another episode or episode from Caleb Peng, the video. And he has, as he says, gained 250 plus points in 2 days in the Premier Cup using this team. So it's a pretty common team to use. I would say that his Gyarados is spicy in the sense that it is running Waterfall and Outrage. Most people would use Dragon Breath on their Gyarados, and they're going to lose the mirror if you use Waterfall, because Dragon Breath definitely is going to be stronger against the other Gyarados compared to Waterfall. So you have to take that into consideration. But apparently Waterfall has many better matchups against other Pokemon, so he's choosing for that. And it worked for him. So if you're still searching for a good team, then I would definitely advise to watch this video. Caleb Peng is definitely one of the best PvP battlers out there, and he's very good at making these videos. As you can see in the description, he goes through every different Pokemon, every different type of lead matchup. So yeah, that's interesting information there. Then I want to quickly go through this message. I'm not even going to read the whole thing because then it becomes a bit too long of an episode. But this is from June 30, so you can see 2 weeks ago already. New real-world adventures coming to the Niantic platform. So an official message from Niantic. And they have announced that one of the games we are excited to bring to the market soon is CATAN World Explorers. Powered by Niantic real-world platform in partnership with the CATAN team, this new game transforms neighborhoods, towns and cities across the globe into a giant game of CATAN, a classic board game loved by tens of millions of people around the world. CATAN World Explorers will enter beta very soon, okay, and you can visit this site for more information. So usually I only give information about Pokemon Go, but I just want to quickly address that Niantic, the makers of Pokemon Go, are also making a new game. So CATAN World Explorers, if you're interested, go to this website. I am interested how many players are going to play this game. I am interested how many people playing Pokemon Go are going to switch to CATAN, well, indefinitely or just for a short time period to try it out. But as they said, beta version is coming very soon. So we're gonna see about that. And then one last thing I wanted to show quickly. Let me first say from who this is. This is from Dr. Shaheen Rostami. I didn't make this. This is his work. Credit to him. And what he did is he is showing when you go on this beautifully made, how do you call it? You can see that in this case, rock, if I click on this line, I have now drawn the line between flying and rock, and it is showing all of the Pokemon that have the dual type of being a flying and rock type Pokemon. And if I switch here to the left, I can get grass and rock. You can see all the Pokemon that have a dual type of grass and rock, Lileep and Credilli. Ground and rock we see here. Psychic and rock. Well, you can go through the whole thing. I wonder if there are some ones that are not showing anything, or if he just left those things out. Because there are certain dual types that I do not believe exist, but maybe he just didn't draw the line between them because no Pokemon exists with that dual type. But yeah, I think this is really beautifully made. So you can go to this website to check it out for fun. Okay, so this episode took a bit longer than I expected, honestly. But yeah, that's all the new information I have to share for today. And if new information comes out, I will make a new episode. And I will see you then.